Did you know the UK government plans to block thousands of people from entering the country in 2025? Job title, income level, or even nationality. It's not just rumours. In 2024, over 320,000 visa applications were rejected. And this year, immigration rules are tightening even further. The new policies are being introduced quietly, but their impact is loud. Families are being separated, careers are being halted. Dreams of a better future in the UK put on hold or destroyed. Here's the shocking part. Even people who were previously eligible, skilled workers, caregivers, international students, are suddenly being told they no longer qualify. The rules have changed, and if you don't understand how, you could lose your chance too. So what's going on? Why is the UK making immigration harder than ever before? And most importantly, are you on the list of those being shut out? In this video, we're revealing the 10 biggest immigration bans coming into effect in 2025. These aren't just policy tweaks, they're total game changers. You'll find out who's being targeted, why it's happening, and how to protect yourself from getting caught in the storm. Because when it comes to moving or staying in the UK in 2025, everything has changed. Number 1. Skilled worker cap reductions. If you're planning to come to the UK as a skilled worker in 2025, this might be your toughest challenge yet. For the first time in years, the UK is introducing a hard annual cap on skilled worker visas. That means there's now a fixed limit to how many people can legally move to the UK under this route. Once that cap is reached, you're out of luck until the following year. And yes, even if you meet every requirement, tick every box ready to sponsor you, your visa can still be denied. Government insiders reveal this cap could reduce skilled worker entries by up to 40%, with sectors like hospitality, logistics, construction, and even portions of healthcare at high risk. Employers are already in panic mode, warning that the UK will face staffing shortages that could cripple essential services. The official narrative? Protecting British jobs. But critics call it what it is: political theatre during an election-heavy year, targeting migration as an easy scapegoat. So what should you do? Apply early. Timing could be the difference between success and rejection. Submit your application as early as possible in the calendar year. Target priority roles. The UK's shortage occupation list still offers a backdoor. Roles on this list may be exempt from parts of the cap. Keep your options open. Countries like Canada, Germany, and Australia are rolling out red carpets for skilled migrants. Don't put all your hope in one system. Tens of thousands could be left in limbo, qualified, motivated, and denied. And sadly, this is just the first of 10 major restrictions reshaping UK immigration in 2025. Number 2. Health and care worker visa tightening. One of the most shocking changes in 2025. The tightening of the health and care worker visa, the very route designed to bring life-saving staff into the UK. Until recently, this visa made it easier for nurses, care assistants, and other health professionals from abroad to work in the NHS or care homes. But now, the UK government has quietly removed multiple roles from the eligibility list, especially low-paid or entry-level positions. This includes some care assistants, support workers, and even dental nurses. If you're applying for one of these roles, your visa may now be automatically refused, even if you're sponsored, qualified, and needed. Why the change? Officials say it's about reducing dependency on foreign labour, but critics argue it's deeply short-sighted. The UK has a massive care worker shortage, over 150,000 vacancies, and these changes could push the system to a breaking point. Care providers warn that many residents may not get the support they need, and hospitals could see even more strain. It's a policy that seems more political than practical. So what can you do if you're in this category? Check the updated shortage list regularly. It changes fast. Seek private sector sponsors still allowed under transitional rules. Consider related roles that are still eligible, such as senior care workers or certain registered positions. And here's the truth. The people affected by this policy are often the ones doing the hard jobs, caring for the elderly, the disabled, and the sick. Yet they're the first to be cut out. If this hits close to home, or if you know someone affected, drop a comment below and share your thoughts. We want to hear your story, and if you're finding this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more critical updates on UK immigration policy. Number 3. Student-dependent ban. Imagine spending years preparing to study in the UK, only to find out that your family can't come with you. That's now the reality for thousands of international students. As of 2025, the UK has officially banned most student visa holders from bringing dependents, spouses, children, even long-term partners, unless they're enrolled in a PhD or research-based postgraduate program. This move might seem administrative on the surface, but for many, blow. Families have been torn apart. Children are being raised thousands of miles away from their parents. Relationships are being stretched thin by months or even years of forced separation. The government argues that the ban is necessary to reduce net migration and prevent student routes from being used as backdoor immigration. But this paints a very narrow picture. International students contribute over £40 billion to the UK economy annually, not just in tuition, but in housing, groceries, transportation, and local spending. Many of them choose the UK because they believed it was a place where they could study and raise a family safely. Now they're being asked to choose your education or your loved ones. And let's not forget the psychological cost. Studying abroad is already an enormous emotional challenge. Without the support system of family, many students are reporting rising levels of anxiety, isolation, and even depression. Some families had already made arrangements, housing contracts signed, school admissions confirmed, before the policy was finalized. And now everything's been thrown into chaos. The message from the UK is clear. Come alone or don't come at all. Whether this will backfire, deterring top talent from choosing the UK, is still uncertain. But one thing is crystal clear. The landscape for international students has changed, and it's not getting any easier. Number 4. Salary threshold increases. For years, one of the core requirements to secure a work visa in the UK has been the minimum salary threshold. In 2025, that threshold isn't just nudging upward, it's taking a major leap. The new policy raises the baseline salary requirement to £38,700, a steep increase from the previous £26,200. That's over a 47% jump, and it's hitting both new applicants and those looking to renew or switch visas. At first glance, this might seem like a strategy to ensure only high earners migrate to the UK. But here's the problem. A huge number of legitimate jobs don't meet this new salary level, including many in education, social care, and even parts of the tech sector. Take, for example, a secondary school teacher earning £34,000, or an experienced care home manager making £36,000. Under these new rules, they may no longer qualify, even though the UK desperately needs them. It's a change that doesn't just shift the bar, it completely reshapes the talent pool. Employers will salaries significantly or risk losing access to overseas talent altogether, and many small to mid-sized businesses simply won't be able to keep up. There are a few exceptions. Roles on the shortage occupation list will have a lower threshold, but the list is limited and updates are slow. That means even critical sectors may be left scrambling. For applicants, the advice is clear. Make sure your offer letter meets or exceeds the new figure. Explore high salary roles in priority sectors. Stay informed. These thresholds can change with little notice. This policy isn't just economic, it's personal. It forces skilled workers to meet a number that has nothing to do with merit and everything to do with politics. Number 5. Graduate visa under review. Just a few years ago, the UK's graduate visa was seen as a lifeline. International students a simple, legal way to stay and work in the UK after finishing their studies. No sponsorship needed, no job offer required. It was flexible, fair, and helped the UK attract top global talent. But in 2025, all of that is hanging by a thread. The graduate visa route is now under formal review by the Migration Advisory Committee. That might sound procedural, but the signs aren't looking good. Politicians have increasingly criticized the route, claiming it's being abused by students taking low-skilled jobs after graduation. Some are calling it a loophole, others want it gone altogether. The potential consequences? Massive. If the visa is scrapped or heavily restricted, it could affect hundreds of thousands of current and future international students. Many chose the UK because of the post-study work opportunity. Take that away, and the appeal of a UK education diminishes overnight. And it's not just the students who lose. Universities stand to take a international tuition fees are a major income stream, and fewer applicants could mean funding cuts, downsized departments, and reduced research output. There's also a human cost. Students who invested thousands of pounds, uprooted their lives, and built new beginnings in the UK now face the prospect of being forced to leave right after graduation, with little warning and few options. If you're a student or planning to become one, don't panic, but stay alert. This review could lead to a more limited, stricter version of the visa, or its complete removal. Right now, the clock is ticking, and the future of the graduate visa, once a symbol of opportunity, could be about to disappear. Number 6. Spouse visa financial requirement hike. In what many are calling a silent attack, the UK government has announced a massive hike in the financial requirement for spouse visas. Previously, if you wanted to bring your partner to live with you in the UK, you needed to show an annual income of £18,600. But in 2025, that number is jumping to £29,000, with talks of raising it even higher in the near future. That's a 55% increase. And for many working-class families, part-time workers, or people in lower-income regions, it's a number that's simply out of reach. This change is already tearing families apart. British citizens married to non-UK nationals are being told they no longer earn enough to live with their spouse in their own country. Parents are being separated from children. Some couples are being forced to move abroad just to stay together. The stated reason, to ensure migrants don't become a burden. But critics argue this policy penalizes love and creates a two-tier system where only the wealthy can have international relationships. Even more concerning, this threshold doesn't account for cost of living differences. Earning £29,000 in London is not the same as in rural Wales or Northern Ireland. Yet the rule applies uniformly across the UK. There are some possible workarounds. You can combine savings with income to meet the threshold. You may qualify for exemptions if you receive certain benefits or have a disability. Or you can delay your application and try to boost your income first. But the message is clear. Bringing your partner to the UK has never been harder. For couples trying to build a life together, this isn't just a financial barrier. It's an emotional and legal wall. Number 7. Ban on asylum seekers working. In a country where job vacancies number in the hundreds, it might seem logical to let willing, able people fill the gaps, especially in sectors begging for workers. But the UK has taken a sharply different path. As of 2025, the government has reinforced and expanded its policy that bans asylum seekers from working while their applications are processed. Even those who've waited over a year, often living in government housing with minimal financial support, are still legally barred from taking up employment. The rationale? According to officials, allowing work rights could encourage unfounded asylum claims. But critics, including refugee charities and economists, argue that this is deeply flawed logic. Let's break it down. The average wait time for an asylum decision is now over 18 months. Thousands of highly skilled people, including doctors, engineers, and teachers, are stuck in limbo. Meanwhile, the UK continues to experience major labour shortages in healthcare, construction, hospitality. By denying work rights, the government isn't just punishing asylum seekers, it's also costing the economy millions in potential tax revenue, while increasing dependency on public funds. And there's the human cost. Living for months or years without the ability to work, contribute, or build a life leads to mental health decline, isolation, and poverty. Many feel trapped, caught between hope and helplessness. Some reforms were expected in 2024, but they never came. In fact, this new phase of the ban is even stricter, with fewer exemptions and harsher penalties for those caught working illegally. For now, the system remains rigid: no work, no income, no opportunity, just waiting. In 2025, seeking safety in the UK often means surrendering your independence. And for many asylum seekers, that's a price they're forced to pay every single day. Crackdown on remote work sponsorship. Once seen as the future of global employment, remote work is now facing an unexpected crackdown, at least when it comes to UK immigration. In 2025, new rules from the Home Office have significantly tightened restrictions on visa sponsorship for remote-first roles. If your job doesn't require a physical presence at a UK office, it may no longer qualify for sponsorship under the skilled worker or other work visa categories. This is a major shift. Until recently, companies, especially in tech, design, finance, and customer service, were embracing remote talent. It allowed them to access global expertise, reduce office costs, and offer flexible options to employees. But under the new policy, fully remote roles are being flagged as non-compliant with the UK's updated immigration framework. Officials argue that visa to the UK economy in person, not just virtually. But critics say this is a step backward, especially when so many industries have proven that remote work doesn't reduce productivity, and often enhances it. Startups, in particular, are scrambling. Many relied on hiring top global talent who could work from anywhere in the UK. Now they're being told those employees must commute, or the visa won't be approved. For prospective visa applicants, this creates a frustrating paradox. You may have a UK-based job offer, but if it's remote only, it's no longer enough. Hybrid roles may still qualify, but that depends on how often you're physically in the office. Employers now need to prove regular office attendance, track employee presence, and provide stricter documentation. If you're applying for a job, be cautious. What once was a benefit may now be a red flag in the eyes of immigration authorities. In the UK of 2025, flexibility could cost you your visa. Number 9. Expansion of high-risk country list. In 2025, the UK has quietly expanded its high-risk country list, and the consequences are far more serious than most people realise. This list isn't just about security. It directly affects immigration approvals, visa wait times, and even the likelihood of being denied. If you're from a country now considered high risk, your visa application could be subjected to extra scrutiny, longer background checks, and higher rejection rates, no matter how strong your application is. So what determines a high-risk country? The government says it's based on immigration compliance, fraud risks, and geopolitical stability. But critics argue the criteria consistently applied, often reflecting foreign policy more than actual migration behavior. Several new countries have been quietly added in 2025, including some that previously had strong educational and economic ties with the UK. Students and skilled workers from these countries are now reporting delays of 3 to 6 months, with many being rejected on insufficient evidence, despite submitting all required documents. For applicants, this feels like walking a tightrope in the dark. You might be completely eligible, but still face endless delays or vague denials. Here's what you need to do if you're from a newly listed country. Double-check your documentation. Every detail matters. Get legal or expert advice before applying. Minute applications. Your timeline may be twice as long now. Be prepared for biometric appointments and interviews. This expansion doesn't just affect individuals, it impacts families, employers, universities, and entire communities. It's creating a two-tier system where your passport alone can change your entire future. And with no clear roadmap for who could be added next, this list has become a moving target, one that applicants can't afford to ignore. Number 10. Reintroduction of re-entry bans. It's one of the most severe and least forgiving changes of 2025. The reintroduction of re-entry bans for immigration offenders. Under the new rules, individuals who overstay their visas, breach visa conditions, or are found to have used false documentation can now face automatic bans from re-entering the UK for up to 10 years. These penalties were once applied selectively, but not anymore. The new framework expands their use, making them faster to apply and harder to. What's changed? Previously, many overstayers were given a chance to correct their status, especially if the overstay was short or unintentional. But now, even a few days past your visa expiry could trigger serious consequences, especially if it's not reported promptly. This also applies to people who leave voluntarily after overstaying. The exit doesn't cancel the clock, it starts it. The Home Office says the policy is about enforcing credibility and control, but immigration lawyers are warning mistakes, delays, or misunderstandings are being treated like criminal acts. Who's at risk? Tourists who accidentally overstay by a few days, students who miss a visa renewal deadline, workers who unknowingly violate employment terms. Even people who leave the UK on their own may be surprised to find themselves banned when trying to return years later. What can you do? Renew or switch visas well before the expiry date. Keep paper trails of all communication and applications. Consult legal help immediately if you think you've breached any condition. This new rule isn't just about punishment, it's about setting an example. And for many, it means that one misstep could erase years of effort, dreams, and planning. In 2025, the UK is sending a clear message. Break the rules and you might not get a second chance. These bans aren't just policies, they're personal. They're shaping lives, splitting families, and rewriting futures. If any of these changes hit home, drop a comment below. Your voice matters more than ever. We poured hours into breaking this down for you, so if you found it helpful, please subscribe. It's just one click, but it means the world to us. And if you haven't seen our last video on housing quietly, go watch it now. It could save you months of trouble.